What's up, guys? It's Mike with Alpha Reptile, back with another reptile video today. Today is a new year and a new reptile room tour. You see this? Do you see it right here? You see right here? It's January, baby. January, let's go! There have been a couple changes since the last reptile room tour that I've done. I'll show you guys around the room and we'll check out all the animals. Let's get into it. I was kidding. We're not doing that just yet. If you guys are new to the channel, please click that subscribe button, click the like button if you do like the reptile content on YouTube, as well as follow me on Instagram. The links will be down below as well as on the screen somewhere right now. I do have one last thing to ask you guys. Would you guys be interested if I set up a merch store with Pop Socket, your own custom pop sockets? If you do, make sure you leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll put a poll on screen or something for you guys to do right now, and yeah, let me know. The first reptile on the reptile room tour today is our guy Vulcan. He is a yellow Ackie monitor, Varanus acanthurus. Hey bud, how are you? So, does y'all have food for me, dude? He does need to get fed, so I will be feeding him right after this. His tank is a 3618-18 Exoterra for right now. He will be upgraded into that guy down there, the 4x2x2. But right now, because he's still small, and I feel like he'll find his way to MacGyver out of that 4x2x2, he's in here. Doing pretty good. He has a burrow. He burrows under those rocks right there, and seems to enjoy it quite a bit, so he's doing really, really well. But I really needed to get him out of the way first because I think he'll be hunkering down for the night and I need to charge my battery. All right, and the next ones that we're going to talk about are the Bradypodian thamnobates, the Natal dwarf chameleons. They have the dueling dragon enclosures that I made for them. If you've ever been to, I think it's Disney World, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they're meant to look very similar, and I think I did a decent job at least. In this tank, so since you saw this last, I will be putting out a video on this. I thought I'd have it out by the end of December, but here we are in January, and I still haven't done it yet, so my bad. But this tank here is actually doing really, really well. I added some ground cover just in hopes that it'll grow. I don't know, because there's not a ton of light reaching the very bottom of this tank. This is a wild coffee plant, and I felt safe putting it in here just because these guys don't really eat plants like a lot of other chameleons do, especially veileds. So that's kind of exciting because I don't need to worry too much about it. But I do have exciting news on these guys. Since the last video on this channel, I have actually named them. This is Ra, like R-A, Ra. It's the Egyptian word for sun. And then the other one, the female, which I don't think is actually out right now. Oh, no, she is. She's right down here. She's hanging out. Hi, sweetie. This is Amunet. This is air or wind, or I think there was one other thing that Amunet means in Egyptian as well, and I just figured I would name them both Egyptian names because one of my subscribers actually mentioned the name Ra, and I was like, ooh, that's awesome. And then my girlfriend mentioned the name Amunet, and I figured that is also very fitting. So if you guys are curious about this, there will be a tank build on how I built this one here. Everything from the background to foaming everything in to carving it to everything. So if you guys are curious how I made these and how you can make your own glass terrarium for your chameleons or any other reptile, lizard, anything, then do make sure to subscribe to my channel and keep your eye out for that video. It should be coming in the next 2 weeks or so. I guess I'll actually show you guys because I haven't shown it in a long time. Fish tank. So this is actually for sale. I am trying to sell it before I end up moving. It's a 9-gallon Fluval Flex. If you're interested in buying it, I am in Calgary, Alberta, and if you want to come pick it up, just let me know. The only thing that would change on it is it will have its original Flex hood instead of the Fluval 3.0 LEDs. But this tank is doing wonderful. It's all live planted. And is all doing very, very nicely, so can't complain too much about the fish tank. I know if you guys are looking for a whole update on that, I guess I can make a video on it if you're interested. Just let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, I think we can move over to the shellman. Hello, the shellman. The shell, hello. Do you want to come out and bite my feet again like last month's reptile room update? You're not gonna do it? Well, that's the shell. He's a Hermann's tortoise, Testudo hermanni. Oh, nope, you're just gonna walk over, okay. This is his tank. It's 5 foot long by 2 foot front to back by about 16 inches tall. He's got a kind of watering hole there, and then he's got a food / water dish / whatever I throw in that dish, and then that plate under it is for his salads. There he goes. I knew he'd come to his senses. You can do it. No, you're done? Okay. Maybe he realized I'm finally not food. Moving on from the shell, I'm just gonna let him run around a little bit here. These are my Niger Uromastyx. Their tank is 4 foot long by 2 foot front to back by 18 inches tall. This is our female. This is Olga. She's not quite as tame as the male, which is kind of unfortunate, but being that it's wintertime, she is gravid as heck. Like, that's her lay bin that she's sitting on. I moisten it up and, you know, she goes in there and lays her eggs. I am gone for the next 9 days. I'll actually be away while you guys are watching this, but hopefully she shouldn't be laying that early. It should be more end of January, early February by the time she lays. And I'd love to show you her male companion, but he doesn't look like he is visible. Yeah, he's hiding under this rock right here, so that's kind of unfortunate, but his name is Hugo. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen some pictures of him. He's a bright highlighter yellow, which is just incredible to see. It's nuts to think how crazy colors lizards can come in. But yeah, that's them. They're completely vegetarian lizards. They eat some finch seed every now and then, but they are awesome. I think it's time for you to go back. You're kind of annoying. Yeah, you're kind of annoying. Here you go. Ugh. There we go. And now we can move to the Maruki blue-tongued skink, Sky. Sky, like I said, is my Maruki blue-tongued skink. I've had him for 5 or 6 years now. It looks like he's actually about to go into shed. He's very, very brown right now, so I reckon he's about to go into shed. I'll have to get my mom to give him a bath. He makes a disaster of his cage when he does so, but his tank is a fully well, actually it's not bioactive, it's naturalistic. I don't have too many superworms in there. There's like 5 or 10 in there right now, but I need them to grow up and to pupate into beetles so we can have a fully bioactive tank for this guy. But there are live plants. Those are real rocks. That is also a live plant back there. He has UVB, so that's kind of burning the back plant back there, but he seems to love it, so can't complain too much. His tank is 4x2x2 with about a 5-inch substrate. Pretty awesome for Mr. Skyboy. And moving on to the OG of OGs. What's up, dude? Hi, bud. Really not liking to focus. There we go. Yeah, so that is Striker. He is the OG of OGs, as we say. And he's the first reptile I ever owned. He's now 16 years old. Actually, his birthday was Christmas Eve. So, well, my receiving him date was Christmas Eve. Doing awesome still. I love his tank. Unfortunately, when I move, I think I might have to break apart his tank and reset it up over in Ontario, which would suck, but I do have some other creative ideas for his new tank, and I think he'll enjoy them quite thoroughly. So, naturalistic, leopard gecko keeping, incredible Arcadia earth mix, arid soil, some wicked succulents, a cool skull in the back. I don't care, Steve, what you say. I enjoy it. And naturalistic background made from our friends at Universal Rock. And moving right along from Striker, I guess we'll just do some dart frogs. I don't know if they're actually out right now. They're probably mostly hiding, especially when I open the tank. They all tend to bounce. But the dart frogs, actually you guys can't, well, you can see the reflection there. You see this like greasy part, it looks like? Those are actually pumilio eggs. And I had a ton of the Pumilio tadpoles swimming in this bromeliad right up front. It's really dark up front because the top is covered. So yeah, this is their tank. It's an 18-18-24 Exoterra. Some of you guys might remember it from my Exoterra waterfall build that ended up totally failing, and I have never used the waterfall, but it still turned out to be a pretty sweet tank for some even sweeter frogs. I just don't know if we're gonna actually be able to see any. That is their tank. That's all I can do for you guys. I'm really sorry. I know that some of you guys are interested in the dart frogs. Not everybody is. But speaking of those, some of you, we're gonna check out the other ones here. These are the Dendrobates tinctorius citronella. They are some incredible frogs, very bold, which is nice. And I have two pairs in here. I will actually be selling off a pair. One of my buddies out in Vancouver decided to purchase one of them. And he hasn't paid or anything yet, but he said that he will take them. So I'm counting on that. And yeah, these guys are doing really well. Their tank is probably my favorite tank. It's really hard to see on camera because there's extremely bright spots and there's extremely dark spots. So it's really hard to tell and get a grasp just how awesome this tank is. But I love it. The frogs seem to be doing well in it. The plants are exploding. I'm very happy with this tank. There's moss everywhere, Markgravia all over the walls. There's a very rare plant called the manta ray vine, and then Markgravia all over the walls. So I can't complain too much about this tank because it's just so nice. I just love it. Frogs are doing awesome, very healthy weight, nice and chunky. And then this is the last tank of dart frogs that I have currently. I used to have a ton more. If you watch some of my old videos, you'll see that I had a lot more dart frogs, but I downsized, and eventually I hope to re-upsize, but these are the actual Pumilio. I'm just trying to, oh, there you go. Hop, hop. Don't hop out. Please don't hop out. You're about to hop out. Yeah, you are. Yeah, these guys are goofy little dudes. I did have somebody reach out to contact me about these guys. And yeah, hopefully I'll be selling them probably February or maybe March, just to make sure they're out of the kind of feeble froglet stage and into their robust frog, mature frog stage. These are just plant tanks. I'm actually selling this tank to one of my friends, training it for some frogs as well, so that's kind of cool. And then here's another plant tank down here. And if you guys are interested in any of this stuff, I did produce a plant tank video not too terribly long ago, so I'll link it on screen for you guys now. But I know this is a reptile room tour, so I kind of got to stick with the reptiles, don't I? In here we have my Mourning geckos, just in a 12 by 12 by 12. And look, if you look at the very back there, look at the little baby. She's so cute. She's tiny, just a small little baby. And then there's 3 adults in here as well. All live plants, all doing really well. I need to trim back this plant because it's getting massive, so that will be occurring in the next probably couple weeks here. And they're laying eggs all over the place. I love these guys. They're a super underrated gecko, which is kind of unfortunate, but they're gaining popularity, so that's all we can ask for, right? Moving on from the Mourning geckos, we can move on to our Uroplatus homie Dixon. I don't see Dixon right now. Yeah, he hides in the top of that bamboo. But his tank is doing well. He's just in a 12-12-18. Quite small geckos. I do hope to upgrade him into, I don't know, maybe a 12-12-24 or potentially an 18-18-24 if I have the space. But these guys are pretty small, not incredibly active, so that's nice. And they like it very cool. Like on the floor here, the coolest his cage gets is like 62. And then the warmest it gets is about 75. So quite cool loving geckos, which is nice for a basement floor. Next on the menu is Tig. She's got a cool plant up top. And then her tank here. This is probably, well, besides the turtles, this is probably my least favorite setup for any of my animals. I will be upgrading it eventually. Well, not upgrading the size, just, I guess, like a Pimp My Ride, except a Pimp My Cage. Because while it is live planted, and there is enough in here, I just can't do it. I gotta make a fake background and put in some more branches and things for her because, I don't know, I feel like they deserve that. Tig is actually at the back there, one of the few times we can see her. Oh, she's in the middle of a shed. Hi, girly. Sorry to bug you while you shed. You're very cute, though. Super cute. All right, I don't want to bug her any more than I already am, but I just figured I'd let you guys see her. See how she's doing. I do have a ton of isopods and things up there. I'm not going to show you all of them because there's not really much point, but we do have frogs in there, so I'm going to pull that down and give you guys a show and tell of the frogs. Alrighty, and here we are at the Crusiohyla craspidopus. These are the fringed leaf frog is another name for them, their common name. And they're in their luscious jungle bin. As you can see here, we got a ton of different plants that are thriving in this tank, to be totally honest. We got the Begonia metallica, we got the Monstera adansonii, we got another Monstera down here, the Monstera dubia. Then we got Hygrophila. This is a aquarium plant it can be used for. We've got a ton of different plants in here. And as you can see, of course, the beautiful little Craspy. And then the girl is, you can kind of see below there, just a little shadow. I'm not gonna like dig her out or anything, but these guys are doing awesome. I think what I'm gonna do is actually set up this other bin for them, just because it's another bin, and then that way I can get rid of this small one, and then I can get a couple new bins to set up the turtles that you guys will see in a second here, because their bins are getting too small for them, and I'm keeping my eye out for deals on tanks and things like that, so I would like to upgrade these guys into a slightly bigger bin where they can live for quite a bit longer, and then upgrade the turtles. So this is by far, or I'd say probably top 5 most beautiful frogs in the world. They're just so cool, and I'm so lucky to have them. And now, moving from the frogs, we can go over here to the Ebenavia and linguist. So these guys are nowhere to be found. They're MIA. They almost never come out. Not too surprised, to be totally honest, but yeah, they're really cool. If you haven't seen, I'll throw up a picture of them for you guys to check out. They're really a beautiful gecko, super underrated in the hobby, and something that I hope becomes more popular in the future. And while we're talking about little geckos, we can move down to our little homie, the beautiful elegant sand gecko, or I didn't write the scientific name on the tag, so elegant sand gecko. Beautiful little dude. I rescued him from work. His clutch mate ended up passing away at work, but I got him, and he's doing really well. Soon enough, probably, maybe when I get back from my trip, if not a little bit later, like mid-January or so, I might set him up in a little bit bigger of a tub and a little bit more naturalistic. These guys actually like to have sand, and they burrow in the sand, so I'll probably end up doing that for him, but he's so precious. Such a tiny little dude. And just so cool. Eats like a racehorse, he eats like a monster. He's just a happy little gecko that I'm so happy I still have. Not much to say about them. They're not typically found in the hobby. My old reptile manager at the place that I work really knew what he was talking about and liked to order in some of the more rare stuff. So that was one of them. We still actually have one of the adults at work, and they get to be, I'd probably say, about half the length of this bin, so like 3 inches or so, maybe 2.5 inches. That little dude still has a lot of growing to do before he's full grown. And I think the only ones we're missing are the little tortugas here. So let me pull them down and we'll get them out. Alrighty, and here are the Geomyda spangleri, the black-breasted leaf turtle. The reason why they call them that is because you can see just how much they look like a leaf. And then he's gonna hate, or she is gonna hate that I do this, but their stomach, or their plastron, is totally black. So, very cool little dudes. Whoops. I had somebody message me today asking where they could find them. There is a breeder in Canada of them. They are not cheap, and by not cheap, I mean like really not cheap. So they are really, really quite entertaining animals, but like I said, they're just not cheap animals. So if you guys are looking for something cheap and cool, these are not them. These are expensive and cool. I think it will also be time when I get back from my vacation, because I'm literally filming this the day that I leave. I do need to change out their substrate. I'm going to be getting some more sphagnum moss while I'm there and redoing their bins, but I mean, they're still fine. There is a cleanup crew. There's springtails all over, so I'm definitely not too worried about that. It's an interesting case of plant selection. You see, these were started at the same time. This one has died off so many times, and the ones that I put in here did really well. Obviously, you can see there's just a lush mat of the beautiful Monstera adansonii. And then in here, there's the Philodendron bradantium, and then just a like standard philodendron. But you can see that they did not do nearly as well as the other tank with the Monstera. So something to keep in mind, plant selection is huge, and you learn what works and what doesn't. Obviously this tank did not, and this tank did probably too well, to be honest. But they're both doing really well. They're both eating like champs, and I'm so happy to have them, and I can't wait to upgrade them. Like, it'll be a crazy time when I get back, but they will be upgraded in the very near future. So if anybody is screaming, shaking their screen or something, I don't know, that they're in too small of an enclosure, they will be upgraded. Do not sweat. Alright, and with the showing of the turtles, that's actually going to do it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast filming it. I know you guys love the reptile room tours. Be sure to check out some of my other videos too if you're watching this. If you've made it to the very end, I suppose. Go check out some of them. They're very well worth your time. I spend a lot of time on these, and I hope you guys enjoy them. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. If you did, click that like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave it in the comments section. If you like the reptile content and you want to see more, there's going to be a ton more on this channel. I upload every Tuesday and Friday, so if you guys want to see, click the subscribe button, as well as ring the doorbell for post notifications to let you know that I've posted. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Happy New Year, you guys, and we'll see you later. Later.